Why you almost never see a fat Japanese. Obesity is actually very common in the Western world. Countries like US and other Western countries experience obesity on so much that the weight loss industry profits at $78.5 billion every year. Weight loss is a billion-dollar industry by itself. Everything from fitness programs, to diet pills, diet plans and meal plans. If you know Japan well enough, or if you have spent time with many Japanese people, you will see that the Japanese rarely get fat. Obesity is not a major problem in Japan. As a matter of fact, their culture shames those who become fat unless they are either an elder or have some kind of illness. Here are the breakdown why are most Japanese people so thin. 1. They eat a lot of seafood and veggies. It's true that they eat red meat, and sometimes it's fried. But red meat or poultry doesn't seem to be the main staple of their diet as much as seafood, rice and veggies are. Meat seems to be eaten in smaller amounts. Even if you don't go to Japan, you might already know that the Japanese eat a lot of seafood. Take a look at sushi and many of their dishes. Seafood is a big part of their diet. Many dishes in Japan had eel. And in case you are not familiar with eel, it is a serpent of the sea which tastes awesome and it has a lot of vitamins and minerals. The Japanese eat a lot of things that indigenous people ate, and thus with the natural protein diet they gain their proper nutrition. As opposed to Western culture, highly refined and saturated fats, animal proteins are a bigger part of their diet. 2. They eat smaller portions. In Japanese restaurants the portions are sensible. Not tiny, but definitely not large. You might get a bowl full of soup with some noodles and seafood, or meat. But if you take just the solid part, it's not a huge amount. Or you might get some seafood with rice and pickled veggies and miso soup, small amounts for each of those foods. The smaller portions is probably more important than the type of food they eat. While in American restaurants, the food is piled high in huge portions, or supersized in fast food restaurants. 3. Less frying, more boiling. Fried food contains a lot of omega-6 fatty acid which causes inflammation, as opposed to omega-3 which is good for you. The Japanese do have their number of fried foods such as shrimp tempura and their own style of fried chicken. However, they don't fry many things. Which is why some Japanese foods tend to have less taste than their Western counterparts. Sushi, for example, is just seaweed, rice and fish. The Japanese boil a lot of things and eat a lot of soup, also called ramen. So because they have less omega-6 in. While Americans have a high fried food culture. They fry everything. Just take a look at the food franchises. Deep French fries, fried chicken is super popular and the list goes on. If the West could balance it out, they could be as healthy as the Japanese. 4. They view eating differently. Japanese eat a lot of vegetables along with their animal-based foods. The Japanese are more conscious about what they eat and they know that it doesn't all have to be entertainment. Food is supposed to be nutritious. They worry about getting enough nutrients. Whereas, the West, especially in Latino cultures, food is seen as entertainment. When we eat we want our taste buds to be entertained, worry about how good the food tastes. That is why we dress up our foods with sauces, salts, sugars, and all kinds of flavors. 5. They drink a lot of tea. The Japanese actually drink a lot of green tea. If you have looked into drinking green tea before, then you will already be well aware of the fact that there are plenty of health benefits that come with doing so. For example, if you struggle with stress and anxiety, then studies have shown that drinking green tea can actually reduce those symptoms. Green tea can also help with insomnia, cardiovascular problems and even cholesterol levels. However, one of the biggest benefits of green tea is that it is great for weight loss and metabolism. The Japanese drink huge amounts of green tea, which is perhaps another reason why they remain so slim and healthy. Westerners may be genetically preferred high sugar drinks and alcoholic beverages are pretty common. 6. They walk everywhere. Usually people who live in Japan, especially the urban and suburban areas, just have to move a lot more. Cars aren't practical at all except for longer trips, so almost everyone commutes by public transportation. A lot of people ride bicycles everywhere. Usually not the kind you ride for exercise or training for races, but everyday, riding around the city type of bicycles with baskets for a bag or two of groceries. This is all in contrast with Americans, who ride cars everywhere, still largely rely on their car to get to work and back or even to the corner store. As you can see, there are scientific facts that prove just why the Japanese remain slim and healthy. When you take a closer look at the diet that most Japanese people have, it is very easy to see why they have the longest life expectancy in the world. If you are struggling with health issues, or you are trying and struggling to lose weight, then looking into following a Japanese diet might actually be a very good idea indeed. Give us a thumbs up and click subscribe to join us in healthifying life.